there is a specific kind of silence that lives in the chest. It is not the peaceful quiet of a library or the calm stillness of a sleeping house. It is a heavy, suffocating vacuum. It is the sound of your own heartbeat echoing against ribs that feel too tight, too fragile, too exposed. You know this silence. You have sat with it at 2 a.m., staring at a phone screen that refuses to light up, wondering where the connection went. Wondering why the person who once looked at you as if you were the only source of oxygen in the room now looks at you as if you are a burden they are trying to gently set down. You replay the conversations. You dissect the texts. You analyze the tone of their voice, searching for the exact moment the shift happened. Was it something you said? Was it too much affection? Did you ask for too much clarity? The confusion is a physical ache. It sits in your throat like a stone. You feel crazy. You feel unstable. You feel like you are losing your mind. Because the reality in front of you does not match the promise they made with their eyes just weeks ago. But here is the brutal truth, the one that cuts through the noise and lands directly in your gut. They did not leave because you were too much. They did not pull away because you were unlovable. They pulled away because you were safe. And for someone with an avoidant attachment style, safety is the most terrifying thing in the world. You thought you were building a foundation. They felt like they were building a cage. To understand this, we have to look beneath the surface of their behavior, past the excuses and the mixed signals, into the primal wiring of their nervous system. When you moved closer, when you offered consistency, when you showed up with open hands and an open heart, their amygdala, the ancient lizard brain center responsible for threat detection, did not register love. It registered engulfment. It registered a loss of self. For the avoidant, intimacy is not a harbor. It is a flood. Their nervous system is calibrated to perceive dependence as danger. When you sought reassurance, their cortisol levels spiked. This is not a metaphor. This is biology. Their body entered a state of high alert, a fight-or-flight response triggered not by a predator in the bushes, but by the gentle expectation of emotional reciprocity. The dopamine hit they got from the chase, from the uncertainty, from the distance, began to fade, replaced by the heavy, anxious weight of obligation. So, they deactivated. Deactivation is a survival mechanism. It is a psychological shutdown switch. They didn't stop caring in the way you think. They didn't suddenly decide you were worthless. They felt overwhelmed by the intensity of their own vulnerability, and so they numbed it. They constructed a wall of indifference, brick by logical brick, to protect themselves from the terrifying possibility that they might need you. And if they need you, you have power over them. And if you have power over them, you can hurt them. This is the trap you have been caught in. You have been trying to love them out of their fear. You have been trying to prove your worth by staying, by waiting, by explaining, by shrinking yourself to fit into the small spaces they left open. You thought that if you were just patient enough, just understanding enough, just easy enough, they would finally feel safe enough to stay. But you were wrong. Your patience was interpreted as permission. Your understanding was interpreted as weakness. Your willingness to wait was interpreted as a lack of options. By making yourself available, by keeping the door wide open while they slammed theirs shut, you inadvertently confirmed their deepest, darkest belief, that they are in control and you are not. That they are the prize and you are the contestant. They thought you were easy to play. They thought you were easy to keep on the shelf, to take down when they were lonely and put back when they felt crowded. They thought your love was a constant, inexhaustible resource that required no maintenance, no respect, no reciprocity. They were wrong. Because today, everything changes. Today, we introduce the one concept that will shatter their narrative and rebuild yours. It is not revenge. It is not manipulation. It is not playing games. It is radical, unapologetic non-reactivity. Non-reactivity is the art of becoming a mirror. When they pull back, you do not chase. When they go silent, you do not panic. When they offer crumbs, you do not beg for the loaf. You simply observe. You remain steady. You become like the ocean, vast, deep, and utterly unmoved by the storms that rage on the surface. Imagine this scenario. It is Tuesday. They haven't texted you in 3 days. In the past, this would have sent you into a spiral. You would have checked their social media. You would have drafted a message asking if everything was okay. You would have felt the familiar tightening in your chest, the urge to fix, to soothe, to bridge the gap. But not today. Today, you feel the urge rise, and you let it pass through you like wind through a tree. You acknowledge the anxiety. You name it. You say to yourself, I am feeling anxious because I value connection. But you do not act on it. You put the phone down. You go for a walk. You work. You breathe. You exist in your own life, fully and completely, without their input. Now imagine what is happening on the other side of that silence. The avoidant partner expects the chase. They are waiting for the ping. They are waiting for the question mark. They are waiting for the evidence that they still hold the reins. When it doesn't come, a strange thing happens. The silence stretches. It becomes uncomfortable. For the first time, the space they created is not filled by your energy. It is empty. And in that emptiness, their projection fails. They begin to wonder. Why aren't you chasing? Did you lose interest? Did you meet someone else? Did you finally realize your worth? The narrative they built, that you were desperate, that you were dependent, that you were easy, begins to crack. The certainty they felt about your availability dissolves into doubt. And for the avoidant mind, doubt is intoxicating. Dopamine is not released by possession. It is released by anticipation. It is released by the unknown. By stepping back, by refusing to react, you have reintroduced the unknown. You have become a mystery again. You are no longer the open book they skimmed and shelved. You are a locked door, and they suddenly want the key. This is not about making them obsessed with you. This is about breaking the trauma bond that has kept you small. But the side effect is inevitable. As you reclaim your energy, as you stop pouring it into a black hole, they begin to feel the void. They start to miss not just you, but the version of themselves they were when they were with you. The version that felt seen, even if it scared them. They may reach out. A casual text, a meme, hey, how are you? Designed to test the waters, to see if you are still there, still waiting, still easy. This is the critical moment. This is the fork in the road. If you respond with enthusiasm, if you pour your heart out, if you act as if nothing happened, you reset the cycle. You teach them that they can disappear for days, treat you with indifference, and return to full access without consequence. You confirm that you are indeed easy. But if you respond with calm, detached warmth, if you match their energy, if you take hours to reply, if you keep your responses brief and polite but emotionally contained, you send a different message. You send the message that your attention is earned, not given. You send the message that your peace is more important than their convenience. You are no longer reacting to their whims. You are acting from your own center. This shift is visceral. They can feel it. The dynamic flips. Suddenly they are the ones checking their phones. They are the ones wondering what you are doing. They are the ones feeling the pang of uncertainty. The power has not been stolen. It has been reclaimed. It was always yours. You just forgot to pick it up. But be warned, this path is not for the faint of heart. It requires a level of emotional discipline that feels unnatural at first. Your nervous system will scream for resolution. It will beg for closure. It will tell you that if you don't say something, if you don't fix it, it will be gone forever. That is the lie of the anxious attachment. Closure does not come from their explanation. Closure comes from your acceptance. Acceptance that you cannot control another person's capacity for intimacy. Acceptance that you cannot love someone into being ready. Acceptance that your worth is not determined by their ability to see it. There will be moments of intense pain. There will be nights when the silence feels deafening. There will be times when you want to break, to cave, to send that one last message just to feel a connection, any connection. Do not do it. Hold the line. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Every time you resist the urge to chase, you are rewiring your own brain. You are teaching your amygdala that silence is not a threat. You are teaching your nervous system that you are safe, even when you are alone. You are building a tolerance for uncertainty that will serve you for the rest of your life. And as you do this, something miraculous happens. You stop looking at them as the source of your happiness. You start looking at yourself. You rediscover the hobbies you abandoned. You reconnect with friends you neglected. You remember who you were before you started shrinking to fit into their limited capacity. You begin to glow. Not because you were trying to attract them, but because you were finally feeding yourself. And that glow is irresistible. It is the light of autonomy. It is the aura of someone who knows their value and refuses to negotiate it. If they return, they will not find the same person they left. They will find someone stronger, calmer, more centered,